start recording, pull up my notes, and get into it. Hello, my friends. Welcome and welcome back. I am Omar Krieg, your... Oh my god, I'm screwing up my own intro. I am Omar Krieg, your Lord and Commander of the Krieg Dominion, and your host for this, the 40th episode of Along the Frontier, an Alien RPG campaign. This session is entitled Badge 2. With me, as always, are, of course, my wonderful players, Rodance, Luke, and Kane. Let's take a moment, check in with them, see what's new and exciting for them in the last week or so since we saw them. And meanwhile, I'll just be over here regaling my children with the tales of the time when the enemy were the Soviets, and we fought them in a place called Mohavia and Krasnovia. Rodance, I don't know if you got that reference at all, but what's new and exciting for you, my friend? I hope Kane at least got that.
Well, let's see. I've spent all of today. I woke up today going, I get to play my Wescott this evening. And let me tell you, my day dragged so bad.
Yeah, that's usually how that goes.
I'm excited to see how this last mission goes, and I hope we all survive because I want to see campaign number 2 with these characters so bad.
Indeed. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna say this for the audience's sake. But I've told you guys already, I don't have a lot specifically planned for this session. There's a couple of beats, and then everything else is basically up to you guys. So depending on how we progress through everything, we'll have our first couple of opening scenes, whatever you guys want to do, and then we'll have our cliffhanger mission briefing at the end that will basically signal the end of the session, and we'll transition from there. So we may be a little short, we may be a little long, who knows? Because sometimes you guys come up with some amazing content all on your own, and I don't even have to do a whole lot of poking and prodding to get it. But I'm glad to know that you guys are excited to be here. Speaking of being excited to be here, Luke, what's new and exciting for you, my friend?
Job hunting sucks.
Don't even get me started, bro.
Oh man.
All those things I've been talking about with my job. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
no matter what may or may not be going on with my job at current and how irritated I may or may not be with it, I don't want to go look for another job. I just don't want to do it, man.
No. So I applied a bunch of places today. I don't know if everyone else, I don't think anyone on the internet knows this, but I don't have a job anymore. So my full-time job is now looking for a job.
Yes, that is a
and I'm
full-time
really
thing, by the way.
happy. I am really happy about that though,
Well, that's
because
always
finally I'm
good.
out of that environment, and that's good. Positive results at a local gaming bistro was pretty good.
Nice.
They were pretty impressed with my resume and my cover letter, things like that. So that was nice.
Yeah.
A couple of the places are kind of interesting, and a bowling alley was like, okay, yeah, I'd do that. It's got an arcade attached.
And bowling is a game, so you're still in the gaming sphere.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a sport, so it's also the sports sphere.
So the other part of all of that is that I am going back to school in September. So,
Okay.
having a full-time job is probably not the best option. So having a part-time that's like just whatever and kind of fun, then that's probably the goal, right?
I mean, the goal is a full-time job that doesn't feel like a job.
Yes, but that
Well, I
comes
guess
a little
that's
bit
not so
after
much the
some
goal as
studies.
it is the ideal.
Yeah. So I'm going from there.
What are you going to go back to school for? You know?
So it is programming and then possibly cybersecurity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. You will be just like somebody's character in a different project that may or may not be talked much about tonight.
Oh, right.
Listen, I
So we
didn't
don't
want to lead you
have
into that if you didn't want to talk about it. I did think about
but
plugging
we
it, but I
don't
didn't talk
have
to you
a date.
beforehand about how we were going to do it.
But we don't have a date
We
yet.
don't have a date.
Exactly. So theoretically, it would be next week. But with another member that's not having that much of a great time getting into the game, then it might be 2 weeks. But I think we've pretty much set up most of the framework to getting the expense up and running for a
Nice.
one shot that might be going somewhere.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
And
There seems to be a lot of interest.
I know 3 people minimum besides myself, so 4 including me, that are definitely excited to do something about it.
Yeah.
We gotta see if number 5 is gonna be on board or not. And
Yeah,
not so much like a lack of interest or whatever. Just can he participate and do the things, or is there going to be things getting in the way? In which case, sometimes that's just the way it is.
I'm trying to get LaRousse to possibly
Ooh.
join. That would be nice.
That would be awesome, because I've never met LaRousse except through
Wow.
you.
Well, that's probably for the best.
It very well could be. I don't know. I mean, for her, that is. I mean, nobody wants to meet me.
No, it's okay. But yeah, she
Wow,
Oh my
Kate, go back to
God.
your corner and shut up for a minute. I'll come to you in a minute.
So she played the playtest with me originally, one of the playtests just to get the game running, and then we could figure out what the rules were if we did a couple rounds of whatever.
Right.
She doesn't actually know anything about the game itself that we're going to be playing, but the cupbearer or the perchance to dream, which is in the actual book.
Yeah.
She really enjoyed playing it, and
Okay.
I've been trying to like coax her into like just getting on her laptop and then being like in the game with us.
That would be awesome. She's more than welcome.
Yeah.
More than welcome.
And I will murder her character if given the chance. So no favorites.
No.
Yeah, so you totally should have her voice an NPC or 2.
Oh yeah,
That'd
that'd
be-
be,
yeah,
if nothing else,
definitely.
definitely do some background stuff.
Yeah.
She could
She
be
might enjoy it.
She could be the Magil Barrett to the ship's computer voice.
She has to voice Fred Johnson. We already know that.
Good luck. He has a unique voice, man. So good luck. Oh man.
And that's all I got.
All right, that would be amazing. I joke so much about it, but it would be awesome if she somehow managed to pull off a respectable Fred Johnson impersonation.
No.
That would be an interesting introduction to somebody I've never met.
It would be.
Her namesake is Laros as a French dictionary. I don't assume she's gonna have a very good like Fred Johnson-y speaking method.
I don't want to say I don't have any faith in her. It's just she's definitely got a challenge ahead of her if she wanted to try that one.
It's some road work.
Kane, other than trying to impersonate Fred Johnson yourself, what's new and exciting for you?
Well, I've reached a point where I think some of my conditioning is still very alive and well.
Okay.
My brain tells me I'm not stressed out.
Mm.
My talking tells me I'm not stressed out. My thought patterns say I'm not stressed out. The fact that I'm wearing a vest of heating pads in order to be able to reduce the pain enough to be able to sleep tells me I think I might be stressed.
That's a thing.
That explains some of the wires poking out of my sweatshirt right now. I'm using to hold all the pads in place in my chair.
Sure.
I was wondering why you had like the one drawstring out of the rest of it, and it was just itching my like neuro.
Oh no, it's a heating pad thing. Yeah, it's been interesting. I found out that there's a bunch of resources that the school and the state have done a very great job at not advertising, so they don't have to give me money.
Except now so they're gonna have to give you money.
Well, tomorrow one of the things I'm gonna do is meet with another student who's already done the ass pain, so I can just step in his footsteps.
He's walked the road, so you know exactly which road to take yourself.
Yeah, for example, here's a huge one, right? I've got my issues for living a previous life before going to the school.
Yeah.
And when we did our in-doc, or whatever the fuck they want to call it for the school, their orientation thing or something.
I think orientation is probably closer, but yeah, and I'm okay with indoctrination.
It's kind of what it is. Like, oh, here's our motto. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I lived a different motto. You can keep yours. Like, everybody got to learn our fight song. Fuck off. Like,
yeah, I've already learned a few of those, and I don't want to. No, I'm done. I'm checking out of that.
one of the things they mentioned was like if you're a Purple Heart recipient, you can get a parking pass that lets you park anywhere in the school, at the school.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And if you have like a learning disability, there's an office you can go to get some accommodations, which I've seen in some of my classes. Some of the people like a desk set off to the side or whatever, and they're very obviously got some sort of learning disability that they're working through, and they've got their extra stuff for them.
Right.
Cool. That's what they tell us. So I'm like, great. Well, I don't have a learning disability, and I don't have a Purple Heart. So I guess my suck Sally is my own goddamn problem. I got to figure this out. And that's what I'm accustomed to doing, because the only real job I worked was for the military. So we had apparently it was like a focus group or something. So a bunch of people going in to talk about how veterans issues are being treated at the school. It was in the vet center. It's only vets that are there. I sat down and I was like, they said I could listen to it. I wasn't invited to the group. I didn't do the survey, but I don't know. I'm a vet. Fuck it. I'll sit down. Stick a bunch of vets in a room and ask them to bitch, and bitch we will.
Yes, we will.
I learned
about anything and everything
so
and in no
much.
particular order.
I learned about
Hello, Bob.
so much there, including like one guy was like, because I had mentioned like I missed because I'd had an off day and I could not tolerate being around other human beings. So I just didn't go to school that day and I missed an exam for it. And when I tried to talk to my teacher, who for that class is clinical psychology,
You'd think you would understand. Yep.
she was like, well, you weren't like a traveling athlete or something, so it's not a valid excuse. You get a 0 on the exam. I was like, oh, okay, well, if that's how it is, then I guess that's how it is. I just won't take another one of your classes. Fuck, I guess that's how this process is. Homeboy during the Spitch Fest is like, no, dude. If you fill out the paperwork, if you're at least like 40%, I was like, yeah, I'm at least 40. And he's like, yeah, I turn shit whenever I want. I just call that office and say I'm turning this in 2 days late, and they just inform the instructor they're accepting it 2 days late. And I was like, where has this been this whole semester? So tomorrow I'm meeting with the guy so I can learn.
Go get your bennies, man. You earned them.
I can learn the sacred art.
So says the guy who has not yet earned any of the bennies he's earned, or collected the bennies he's earned.
No, I'm excited. Tomorrow I get to meet with this guy and we're going to go over all of the ways that I can tell the school that I earned a little goddamn peace of mind. Yeah. And here's how. So that's my news.
Well, alrighty then. Well, I don't really have any news that I feel like going over, mostly because I don't want to get my blood pressure back up like I did a few minutes ago. So we're just going to dive right into it. Previously on Along the Frontier, the Gunslingers have met their match, or so it may have been, after 3 of 4 active members went down once a Blackguard team rushed them. Only the timely intervention and extreme prejudice, not to mention well-placed grenades and small arms fire, of Staff Sergeant Pike allowed the team to even consider the option of survival. Thanks to the coat-turning of a Master Sergeant Spears, the Blackguard more or less gave up the full SGT and disappeared into deep space, and the team, barely alive, but yes, alive, begins their rendezvous journey to see a man about a badge. And we get, instead of our normal, like, opening scene, we get a cut scene. Yeah, it's been a while since I wrote one of these. So, just narrating, we get a shot of the Saturday the 14th floating through space, as one does. It draws in close to the rendezvous point, and there is an all blacks out Conestoga class frigate. Karen takes over the ship's computers for the Saturday the 14th. The black frigate swings into docking range. Umbilicals connect the 2 ships. Fire teams cross over. Standing arrayed in a semicircle around the sleeper pods, we get a shot of Badge. And he simply says, "Wake that one first." And he points to the pod bearing the name Staff Sergeant Heath A.W. Pike. So our first scene, once that mini cutscene drifts away, is Pike seated. Or actually, no, what you get is Pike literally waking up with Badge and a couple of Marines, or pseudo-Marines. Oh, that's a great term. I like that. pseudo Marines. The guys that look like they might be in the Marine Corps, but we're not really sure. But they definitely have weapons, and they're definitely pointed more or less in your direction. And so you're waking up. Everybody else is still asleep in their sleep pods, and there's Badge. And off on one, get like a quick little pan. The camera sees one of the computer monitors, and it just says, awaiting input.
Pike, as he starts to come to, he's just in his pod, probably like jammed in there in his silkies.
Because he's a big dude. Yeah, we know.
He looks down. He looks at everybody there. Looks at Badge Guy. Deep sigh. All right, Lorenzo. Do I get my hydration pack before or after we do this?
I don't know. I should remember this. I should even have it in my notes that you guys are gonna keep calling this dude some other name every damn time.
It's just Pike.
I know. He looks at you and he does one of those little like hand motion sort of deals to his guys, and he's like, basically he's telling them to get out, and he takes a step or two back from your pod and leans back against like a counter or something. He's like, I guess you can put some water in you.
All right. He'll walk over to his locker. He'll open it up. He doesn't like step towards the locker. He stays further away from it. So he's just like obviously reaching and grabbing the hydration pack that's taped to the door and then swings it closed.
Yeah.
Just starts chugging this thing, just rips the top off the plastic thing, and just fucking chugs it.
Yeah. And this whole time, he's just imagine, he's just doing the casual, like, office lean against this counter or something, and, arms crossed. He's even got his one foot crossed over the other as he leans back against this wall or what have you. And he's just waiting.
He was full Archer, right? He's got the bag and he just holds the one finger up, just like.
What an Archer reference. Amazing. I never thought we'd get one of those.
All right. Why is it just me?
I have a flair for the dramatic from time to time, don't you know?
Well, it's a good thing I brought you good news then.
That was actually the main reason. I didn't want to know. I didn't know if I was going to have to shoot you or, things. He just kind of leaves it. He just leaves it kind of like open-ended. Like, he's smart enough to figure it out.
Pike is just like nods along like, no, pragmatic. No, I'd do that too. Like,
so give me the Cliff's Notes. I don't know if they still say Cliff's Notes 200 years from now. But it is the future space 80s, so maybe they do.
The Cliffs brand is a subsidiary of Weyland-Yutani now.
It probably is.
All right, 10,000-foot view. General Vaughn wanted to smash this ship into the command center that SecDef operates out of out here.
Lamont Station, okay.
Yep. And they're not now.
Good. And I just realized I may have miswritten the cutscene, but I want to imagine it wasn't the Saturday the 14th. It was the Polsky Proliv and the black ship docked side by side or what have you, because the Marines took off, or the Blackguard took off in their not Saturday the 14th. I forget what the name of it is. I looked it up and I forgot it.
Also, aside from that, apparently General Vaughn has decided to deploy parasites as part of her formations now.
Parasites?
Yeah, like those weird things in the report that come out of people's bodies.
Oh. Well, that's disgusting.
I don't know if your eggheads have given them names. I just been calling them parasites.
I think the going term is xenomorph. I think I could legitimately use that term now, by the way. I think we could get away from all the pretense.
Yeah. Pike just looks at it. A fuck kind of word is that?
It's Greek, I think. I don't know.
whatever, nerds.
I think actually Xeno is Latin, but whatever.
Pike doesn't know.
I'm just gonna argue that maybe Badge doesn't either.
Yeah. Also, well, I guess you have any 10,000-foot questions about that first.
I'm not sure where to begin. She planned to crash a Kremlin ship into Lamont Station that she seized with her blackguard.
I mean, how else you start a war than trying to assassinate the top leaders of another person's military?
I mean, yeah, that's certainly a way. How is she going to keep her blackguard out of it, though?
It's not.
No, I mean, like, that would implicate the blackguard in the assassination attempt, wouldn't it?
Not if they die.
But you'd still have the bodies on the ship, wouldn't you?
I don't know anything about the physics of smashing a ship into a station, but I'd imagine there'd be giblets everywhere.
Fair point. But then how would the parasites, the xenomorphs, get on?
They were supposed to be part of seizing the ship. They were supposed to be a deployed weapon system for the capture of the ship.
Interesting. All right.
And they aren't anymore.
Yeah, so, wait, well, hold on. Does that mean there's going to be xenomorphs attacking us now?
No. I took no fucking chances.
The way Pike is like, nah, bro, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
so almost nonchalant and yet 100% confident. Oh my god.
Yeah. Nah. No, I wasn't taking any chances with that shit. I got to sleep here, man.
Okay.
Okay, part 2.
Go for it.
Watcher said that I should trust you more than I like you.
I'm not sure if I'm going to like the rest of this conversation now.
I defeated the Blackguard assault team.
Okay. Why do I feel like there's more to this story than you're letting on?
Like a third of them are dead.
Okay, where are the other 2/3?
No longer enemy assets.
You can see he's obviously trying to spin the wheels on this. And he's like, hold on, man. You're just going to have to come clean with me on this one. What are you talking about?
Well, they defected.
Okay. I'm
I was very persuasive.
not sure that defection is the right term, but I might be splitting a hair or two there.
Okay, I don't know. That sounded like a cool spy word. They're not on her payroll anymore.
The payroll anymore. I'm imagining Badge and I'm imagining at this point that Badge and Pike are trying to outsmart ass each other, but Pike just doesn't have the brain power to outsmart ass.
I mean, maybe she'd use words like traitor. Although she'd probably use that about me too at this point.
Oh, you mean the general?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna call her Vaughn now.
Well, she's the traitor. But
oh, I agree. And
you
I'd
got
like
evidence?
to put one between her eyes.
So you have evidence of this, yeah?
Yeah, we brought that too.
Okay. All right.
So it helped if nobody asked about anybody who definitely totally died on this ship because they're no longer enemy assets, and it's proof that we can turn some of her forces on her.
Well, it just proves that the Blackguard are indeed humans somewhere beneath all of that muscle and meat. And when he says that, he's looking dead at you with something close to a smirk.
He's totally missed it. He just says, I keep getting reminded of that. Yeah.
he just has a mode where like he doesn't actually go but you can see the look on his face of like the face palm is eminent or imminent, I should say.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if, whatever spooky report you read after this was, I killed them all or some shit. And you've got proof at least that they're not all diehard. They're not suicidal. Some of their leaders are definitely stupid, but the majority of that team, As soon as they found out that they were working a death sentence for somebody else's amusement, they were more than willing to say, fuck that.
Okay. Talk to me about your team. Any losses?
I brought Watcher back.
That's good. He was a good
I
kid.
told-
Is he
I
alive?
told you I would. Yeah, no, he's still talking.
Still talking and alive aren't exactly the same thing, but I'll take your word for it.
I mean, don't you have to be alive to talk? Like Pike looks really serious for a moment. Like, wait, is there some?
And once again, we get the "I'm about to facepalm" look on his face, but he doesn't actually do it.
I mean, he's alive and he's talking. Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. What about the rest of your people?
I mean, they're all fucked up. They're gonna need some serious medical care.
All right.
I mean, Walker's got some. I mean, we stapled Walker's guts in. Uh, pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Wescott is missing an organ. Shot in one out the other. I don't know. Uh, Warren's missing some bits. He's gonna need a sick fucking leg. I'm hoping you can fast track the paperwork to get him a leg.
I can.
A good one.
All right, I can get your people patched up. I don't know if I can get them patched up fast enough. We'll see what the turnaround time here is. The problem is I'm going to make this report that effectively throws Vaughn out into the wind, and then the orders are going to come down shortly thereafter my report is received, and that order is probably going to be capture kill.
I mean, I know you said before we went on this one that things were weird and we were stuck in a standby and that we needed to do this to help you make some shit happen. This better be enough to get some shit to happen.
That depends on the quality of your evidence. Out of character, yes, it's more than enough.
I mean, shit's basically signed by her. I don't know, but
well, there's literally an order in there for the Blackguard to seize the ship. If I remember right.
Yeah, no, that's in character. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
stuff's basically signed by her or some shit. I don't know. Your people will figure that out.
Yes, yeah, we're good at that. All right, so Warren needs a leg. Wescott needs a organ.
That's one of them.
Helpful.
Some gut piece fell out. I don't know.
Like, for the record, this is me laughing because I'm picturing this conversation and I just envisioned, in the way that Badge is probably envisioning, the way Pike is explaining is like some part of Wescott fell out of her. I'm just like, nope, literally, there goes her kidney.
Like, I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. All I can say is for them, they all got seriously fucked up. I convinced the Blackguard medic to put them back together so I could get them back here alive.
Okay.
And they're here alive.
Well,
if you could just get a high quality leg on Warren, I promise you, he will take enough painkillers to make himself mission effective. All right. I just need you to put a leg on that body.
Okay. I think I think the scene wraps like somewhere around there. And like an hour or two later, everybody is awake except for Warren and Wescott, actually. Because Wescott, what did you lose?
I have the fatal crit of busted kidney.
Okay. Is the kidney gone, damaged, destroyed?
It specifically says busted. It does not say destroyed like it is in several of the other entries. In that case,
yeah. 2 hours of surgery later, she comes back out and she's in the gurney, and they're about to put her back into the sleep chamber so that she can get some sort of accelerated healing. So if you want to have a scene with Wescott, this is the time. Her being somewhat loopy and shit. Otherwise, she's about to go back in the box.
Yeah, like, Wescott is not happy until she sees somebody she knows.
Yeah, no, Pike wants to be there when they wake her up to put her under, to take her like off the dropship. And then he wants to be there when they wake her up post-surgery so that all of her lucid moments, he's there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And well, before we do that, let's
he doesn't want her fighting the medics because she doesn't know where she is.
What was Wright's injuries? It was just like she got shot in the crotch and then busted
toes. She got broken toes and a pulled groin.
Yeah.
A stubbed peaky toe and a pulled groin muscle.
Yeah, I feel like it's like an inner thigh shot, I guess, or like it's grazed.
Okay.
Wasn't it shot in the groin or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
like crotch hit or whatever.
It sucked, but it wasn't like a missing organ.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Okay, so Wright, I think after the first couple of hours of surgery or whatever, Wright is back up and mobile, but she's not going to go back in the box. Wescott is, and then Warren has only been brought out of the box long enough for them to start trying to reattach his leg, but he's going to be back in the box immediately. There is not going to be any waking up time.
I wanna advise
Well,
that
and then
I'm also missing
Watcher
an
has to
eye.
have his guts put back in properly.
Yeah. What'd you say, Luke?
I'm also missing an eye, the left one.
Oh, yeah. No, Warren he's not even going to be conscious at any point during this session.
So like
Warren is
Pike
just
makes-
out
We get a
for
kick
this
past
session.
eye patch.
like, Pike makes a huge point, right? Like I feel like Warren's probably the first one to come out because he's the one in most dire need of care.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll come
So,
out like
So like
so
while
they can
he's
start working on him right away.
it's like while he's waking up, the pod's opening and they're trying to like pick him up and put him over so they can put him right back under.
Mm-hmm.
Pike is there.
Okay.
So the first thing Warren will see is like these people he doesn't know, but Pike is standing amongst them, just like standing in the back, like, we're good.
We're good, Dad. Just hang in there, bro. my thumbs up didn't make it on the screen. Shit.
It's just like, I told him to give you a really fucking good one. Good night.
Meanwhile, Warren's like, "Be a good what? Huh?"
And then you know,
There's only
Wes-
one of you too.
like Wescott wakes up and he's there like, I told him, we're good. They're
I
gonna
think
put the-
Westcott needs her "Am I being a normal person" role today.
It won't matter because you're going to be
Well,
going
I
right
just
back
am doing
under.
it for the flavor because it's. She does not wake up like a normal person.
She doesn't want to.
She wakes up swinging.
You wake her out of the sleeper pod and she is like having a what the fuck moment.
Okay.
I mean,
he
that's
just looks at it, he's like,
right, reasonable.
Pike is there and he's like, you're up, just a transition, they're gonna do surgery, putting you right back to sleep. I'll be here when you wake up. You're safe. And he just
Yeah.
waits for her to like fade out to drugs.
Yep. Otherwise, there might have been a repeat incident of her shanking someone as she sleeps. That she should not. I mean,
And I think like, yeah, I mean, he'll wait for after they're gone, they'll probably wake up. I mean, they're gonna wake up Walker. Walker's not
Watcher.
like Watcher, yeah. I mean,
Watcher's
Pike's
just going to be
not-
on bed rest because I
Yeah.
feel like he probably just got his stuff pushed. Oof, I got to be careful how I phrase this. He got his guts put back in him, stitched back up on the spot, and now like they wake him up long enough to check everything, give him a clean dressing, and then basically resedate him so he doesn't, blow a stitch or something.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's
He
more or
got a-
less conscious-ish.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
He got an emergency cesarean.
Pike is once everybody, even Wright, he's gonna wait for Wright to be taken to be checked out by the medics. Pike will turn himself in last for his like superficial like fragmentation bleeds and
Yeah.
like
Where things
bullet
broke
hole-
your holy skin.
where the bullets passed through meat and didn't hit anything important.
Well, listen, on Pike, that's a lot of different things.
He just grazes through muscle mass.
Yeah.
Really lucky, by the way.
That he can get like his stitches and stuff, but he's waiting for it. He's even waiting for like her Furley to get all casted up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So at some point you do have another sit down with Badge. This one ends up being a bit more an official one. We don't necessarily have to go deep into it unless you really want to. This is where he starts actually compiling all your information, all your reports and your intelligence that you've gathered and everything else, and he sends it off. One of the things he notes specifically is that because he believes that an arrest order will be pushed out as part of whatever response they end up getting, he's got the ship that y'all are on, the Black Conestoga. They basically has the ship in a holding pattern, preparing for a jump to Pandora, which is where he suspects the general is going to run to once everything goes to shit for her. Badge is hoping that, with luck, that you guys can make it to Pandora right about the time that she shows up, and that you can nab her without too much effort. He's expecting probably about 24 hours or so before he gets a response back. So you guys pretty much have that time to do whatever you want to do, insofar as like down, come down from the last mission, prep for the next mission, whatever it is that you guys do. Like, normally you guys would have like dinner and a fight night and all that, but that's probably not going to happen this time because everybody's totally fucked up. Warren, as I said, Warren is basically just going to be straight out this entire session in order to make him mission capable for the next mission. I will state, Badge does tell you that the leg that he's going to get, there's nothing special to it, but it is a fully functional leg otherwise. And then
functional leg is functional leg.
Yeah, like
is it shiny?
It's got flesh tones to it, but it doesn't quite match your flesh tone.
I'm thinking about
so it's a military special.
I'm thinking about the was it the captain in the Colonial Marines game who had the prosthetic like knee below?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I never played any.
Cool.
I didn't play any of the Alien video games.
I'll find R4 and send it in the thing.
Okay. There's something else I was gonna throw in there too. So there's, and then also,
so Pike is gonna just. I mean, Pike isn't trying to hide anything. He's taking a chance here because he wants to he likes this guy. He wants to trust this guy.
You talking about Badge?
Yeah, talking about Badge. So he'll talk about like, the volunteer impregnation to prove his fanatic loyalty, the team leader.
Oh yeah, Captain Cudgel.
Yeah, Cudgel. And then like the fact that they had those bodies stashed aboard that were already like parasited up to be released on the ship, and
or is it otherwise bioweapons.
Yeah, and that
fits. That's like the impression that you get from Badge is like every time you bring up something like that, he's like, yeah, that fits with everything else. And yeah, this is painting a very nasty picture that Vaughn was going to use these shits as bioweapons, as a complement to standard troops and deployments and whatnot.
And he'll end it with like a whole, I know that nothing personal factored into this at all. This here, and he gestures for, at the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't change the fact that circumstance helped you stop me and my team from being that team. So I know it's not personal, but I do still appreciate that for whatever reason you picked this team. Try to flip.
I have to be honest, I actually kind of feel bad. I sent you and your team into a incredibly risky and dangerous meat grinder. We knew there was potentially upwards of 6 teams of Blackguard, and as we noticed, you only accounted for, I think, 2 teams, and it almost killed your crew.
He thinks for a second and says, I account for 2 teams. My team account for another one.
However you slice this, there were so many apples on the table, and your team almost died to finish off the teams that they did manage to finish.
Yeah.
That's why Warren is getting a new leg. On me. When he says on me, he says on me, air quotes, because, somebody somewhere has to pay for this leg, obviously, but it's nothing special, but also it's being done and no questions are being asked, effectively.
Yeah. So do you think...
well, I guess he'll get the eye, too. Again, nothing special. It's just an eye.
But it's like...
I get an eye?
But it's
an eye patch.
But it's happening, and it's happening now, and it's not happening like after he's been kicked out and he gets to go through the whole process and this is some serious hookup shit.
Yeah. And the fact he also at some point he's like, also be incredibly, you may want to pass this along to your man, but be incredibly thankful that we just happen to have some stock parts laying around.
Oh well. I mean, he knows he's fortunate. He's good,
he's
but
a fortunate son, all right.
Yeah, he is. I think we all are.
But I knew as soon as I said it, somebody was going to get the reference.
Yeah. And look, like, I when you did the brief, when you told us we were going to be competing with a Blackguard team, I knew our chances weren't great. We knew our chances weren't great. I told the team our chances weren't great. So,
and guess what? Your chances weren't great, but you managed to pull it off. But only because, as it turns out, the Blackguard does have a shred of decency sometimes.
But at least it was nice to return to a place where I was reasonably certain that the orders were good. Especially with how fucked things were for the missions we did previous to this.
I haven't pieced together everything in order to figure out the story that was being told from then to now. But I do know this much. There's enough art on the tapestry to damn and convict General Vaughn and a slew of officers, senior officers of the Marine Corps, and many other leaders and representatives from across the government and corporations likewise. Is there any final thoughts that you want to submit with this packet of bullshit that I'm about to send off to the Secretary of Defense? And to be clear, when he says bullshit, he's like, I recognize that General Vaughn is full of shit. And oh my God, this is some bullshit.
For what you're sending for this here, I would like you to like put extra words to the Blackguard leadership is probably just as bad, but the rest of the Blackguard, the rest of my brothers and sisters, they're not as culpable. They don't know. They can be turned and they can be returned in normal service. They don't need to die.
I will indicate what I can, but I can't make any promises as to what comes of this.
I know. I just want you to put them extra words in. I know that's all you can do.
We'll go in there. All right. I don't have a solid timeline. I estimate 24 hours. Let your boy cook in the sleep chamber. Let your people rest, but the time is yours to do what you need to do. I will gather everybody together once I have something.
Are we still restricted? Or can we free roam the ship?
I mean, there's really not many places to go, but I guess just stay within the Marine country, and that's probably the best. But I won't restrict you per se.
Even if it's with an escort, I'd like to run more than a small circle. I need to.
Oh, but we'd love watching you run in a small
run.
circle for hours at a time.
Yeah, but my knees don't, so I'd like to run more than Marine country.
Hey, we took over the flight deck and then ran circles.
Yeah, but he wants to just like run the length of the ship and back, so he can just get his mind off of things.
Yeah, no, I got you. He was fucking with you, obviously.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's all the above stuff. He's just like, I want to run.
Yeah.
And it's pretty clear that this is rage management for Pike.
Oh, and then okay, because this is like the second time I almost forgot to do this part. So when he gets up, he gathers up all his stuff, puts it all in a folder or what have you, gets ready to walk out, and he turns out and goes, oh, how was Watcher? Are you trying to keep him on your team, or do I get my man back?
I mean, he's your man. Brought him back like you asked.
He saved your call. You don't have a medic. You're going down to Pandora or wherever the hell the general is. You're going to need one.
He saved lives. It'd be nice to have a medic. But if I'm bringing him down to a retreat fortress from General Vaughn, then I'm not going to promise you I'm bringing him back alive. I'll just promise I'll try.
I'll tell you what.
Because I'm honestly not expecting any of us to get out, especially if we can get far enough to get to her.
I'll get back to you then. I'll talk with Watcher myself and see what his thoughts are.
Yeah, if he knows the danger and he volunteers, then he's more than welcome.
Okay. All right. I'll give you an update shortly. Meanwhile, I suppose you can run the length and breadth. Just stay out of the traditional restricted areas, flight deck, command crew, etc.
Easy. Did your eggheads figure out anything with the drug I gave him?
What was the drug you gave them? Oh, the Nova.
I gave them my last dose of Nova.
He says that it is almost entirely everything that you were led to believe it is. It is effectively a combat stimulant specifically designed for AWs. Very much early. He uses the word alpha test phase. But Pike isn't a video gamer, so he doesn't know what an alpha test is.
He has no idea what that means.
This isn't even the closed beta test. But this was definitely a second or third iteration on a formula that they feel they're getting significantly closer and closer to a final draft. Also, it's hush hush like hell. But of course, at this point, he's almost the assistant sec def. He can get away with all kinds of shit. He doesn't actually say assistant secretary of defense, because we all know he's not, but he implies he's pretty far fucking up the chain.
Yeah, I've got nothing else immediate. I've got nothing. I just didn't know if they'd figure something out with that. If there's a time to burn bright and die, it's probably going to be the next hop. So
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. You're probably better off just not using it, to be honest. I don't put a lot of faith in in all of human history, we have tried to find super soldier serums and special ways to, the Germans used meth back in, 200 years ago. We tried all sorts of different things, combat enhanced formulas and whatever. No, at the end of the day, the grunt.
It's all meth.
Yeah. It's all meth. The grunt just needs to be hydrated and motivated. And I know that sounds like a catchy little slogan, but anything more than that is just asking too much of the person, the body, the mind. Just let a grunt be motivated and hydrated, and you'd be surprised how far they can go.
I know how far you can take a grunt. These normies killed Blackguard.
Right. I think you get my point.
And they lived. I do.
We took a chance with your program, and it's obvious he's talking about the AW program. We took a chance, and it worked kind of. There's other programs that he taps the folder in his hand that are absolutely scary that we should never have explored, but here we are. And now we see why we should never have explored these.
Yeah. As
it turns out, the universe is a dark, scary place, and we just made it worse.
I don't know. It hasn't been on my wavelength until the last. Man, I don't know. Shit, I never thought I'd have to think about.
All right, I'm gonna go send this off, and then I'm gonna go talk to Watcher, see what he thinks.
All right.
Time is yours. As soon as I get an update, I'll let you know.
Yeah, at some point when you're not busy, something a little more personal. This conversation being, clock related as well.
Yes. And then he dips out. You have a moment to chicken in on your people if you want to. At least Wescott and Watcher and Wright.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on.
I imagine Wescott. we can hand wave that at some point they come out of surgery and are generally available for light conversation.
Yeah,
no fish frying combatives, but
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Wescott
see Wescott first.
Is waking up and is doing a very angry porcupine impression right now. She is not happy to see anyone, and she does not like being awake in the place she doesn't know.
I will allow you to make another empathy roll.
No. I prefer the one that
you were under for a significant amount of time.
No. I think her being angry porcupine Wescott is more entertaining.
A cactuar.
Yeah.
Cactuar? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Final Fantasy monster? No one.
I'm not into. I'm assuming it's some sort of Pokemon.
No, it's Final Fantasy.
That's one that doesn't help me either. That's still outside my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Sorry.
Yeah.
No worries.
Pike will walk into Midbay to go find Wescott, and as soon as he sees you, be like, "What's this I hear about piss and vinegar everywhere?"
Wescott calms down immediately upon seeing Pike.
Don't make this weird.
These.
He just starts laughing. Do you feel any better? Docs say I'm not supposed to beat the shit out of you for a while, so tradition might have to take a break.
Oh, that's rough. Don't even have any boots to run around the deck anymore now. they've got themselves seasoned. They've gone through bullshit mission again.
Yeah, right. Right stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
It is fucking weird though. That troop bay is real fucking quiet. Last time I was in a quiet troop bay was when I came to pick your ass up.
Yeah, I bet. I take it we're on the spook ship again.
Yeah.
I watch as the nurses come by as I specifically say spook ship in their hearing, and they just probably grin.
They ignore
They
it.
don't even
Like,
react.
yeah, they're just doing their job of, monitoring vitals, checking IV solutions, etc.
Yeah. So I'm like, we all made it out. I'm assuming Warren's still in surgery.
They're doing everything they can to get Warren mission ready.
I look at one of the nurses. Warren's still in surgery?
You're fuck, what's Warren?
Oh.
He's a Lance Corporal.
Uh-huh.
Lance Corporal Warren is going to be not deposed.
Indisposed.
Indisposed, thank you. I'm so close. Yeah, Lance Corporal Warren will be indisposed for several hours at a minimum.
Hmm.
And then they go back to checking vials and stuff.
I look back at Pike, so Watcher and right?
I mean, Wright was hurt only a little bit more than I was.
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah, brought Watcher back alive. I don't know what he's doing.
Kept a promise though.
I did.
So no, I fist
I
bump
told
Pike.
I told Raphael that like if Watcher volunteered to come back, that we'd take him, but it needed to be a volunteer thing.
Yeah. Kind of a little too crazy around here to take anybody who isn't 100% on board.
I just, given the stakes, I don't have the headspace to deal with it. So
Mm-hmm. Y'all they get all the information turned over.
yeah, they took hard drives. They took, they took our footage. I did our, I did our brief already.
Good.
All the official work is done.
Maybe.
Now we're just waiting to see if it was enough.
Makes sense. So Wescott tries to get out of bed, and do any of the people scream at her yet? She does not like.
Oh yeah,
in here.
There's definitely a nurse that's like, she's been doing a really good job of not making it obvious that she's keeping an eye on you. But the moment you sit up, she's like, nope, sit down, Sergeant. Don't even bother. You're gonna blow a stitching. You're gonna rupture a kidney. You're gonna do something, and then we're gonna have to go right back under again. Stay right where you are.
If you want to speed run your recovery, you've got to rest and recover like no one's ever done before.
She lays back down.
The nurse looks right at Pike,
that.
and she's like, there is no speed running recovery. It's
Bitch,
either you
please.
recover or you don't.
He says that too. He's like, bitch, please. I speedrun recovery all the time.
She gives you the Spock eyebrow. You're an 8W. Shut up. And then looks right over at Wescott and says, you are not an 8W. Don't move.
Crumbles.
If you listen to her, it's the best chance I can bring you on the next one. Don't fuck it up.
Yes. So they're just gonna have me sit here, idle hands. They'll be lucky they'll come back to a functional computer later.
Look, I dug through your locker since you can't get to it and gives her stuffed animal so she has her fucking item.
Oh. Like the one she very carefully keeps stashed in the very back of her locker because she doesn't want it to get messed up on mission.
Yeah.
She immediately, like, total expression change. She's like, yep. She calms down and just like kind of like curls into bed with Stuffy.
But I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. And he like turns and leaves.
Mhm.
We can not have this soft emotion bullshit.
Pike, Pike does not have enough empathy to understand
No, he
yet.
doesn't. That's why he can't accept it. It just does not compute.
Yeah, he's gonna go find Right.
Mhm.
Right, I imagine it's like a couple of beds over with a curtain drawn around her. The nurse pops out, having just, updated a clipboard or something.
All
I don't
right.
even think Pike. I don't even think Pike asked just because he's the way he was raised. He's just gonna walk around the curtain,
Yeah.
Okay.
right?
Staff Sergeant Pike.
You
Right.
stepped up.
Well, it feels like I stepped on a landmine because all my toes are broken.
At least you still have them.
Yeah, they're there, I think. I haven't looked down. They've just rushed me to wherever the hell we are now. So,
If you wanted to look down, they're covered in bandages.
yeah, probably. Now I have an extra. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
At least you still have them.
Yeah.
If we're lucky, he's gonna have a leg in time to come with us. Probably gonna be high as fuck when he does, but
Warren?
yeah.
I loosely remember this before getting off the ship. Did he lose like the whole leg?
Oh yeah.
And he got real messed up.
Oh yeah. Boy's too
I
stubborn to
kind of
die though.
I kind of felt like he would be um if I can speak candidly, a lot more competent than um than he was led on to believe with this mission. Like I don't know.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If it's you and me in a dark alley, how do you rate your chances?
Hmm. I think I'd lose
Now,
if we're
if
unarmed.
doesn't matter.
I guess you're right.
Now, take Warren and make him fight four of me. And
That's not a fun time.
he's not dead. Damned impressive if you ask me.
All right. Maybe I have to reevaluate that decision or that observation.
I know we shotgunned you with a lot of information. It's going to be hard to wrap your mind around it for a while. But that was far from a fair fight.
It didn't feel fair.
No, it certainly wasn't. But yeah,
And how do you feel about fighting your brethren? The fact that you were able to come up ahead of all of that damage, all of that ability. I guess that speaks volumes about you.
it was different this time. I mean, I I'd killed other pikes to survive and graduate.
I couldn't even imagine.
It's not
Where I
something
come from,
I had never really thought that it mattered or was really that different until working with folks like you.
yeah, the worst that I had to deal with was probably some superior abuse and then having to deal with not putting that out against, civilians and rioters and things like that.
Different world. I'm just glad I didn't have to kill all of them.
That how many were there? It seems like the whole deck flooded with them after I don't know what you did, but
Team of four took you out. Then I took them out, and I negotiated that their medic treat you.
That's a power card.
Well, when you tell a man that somebody is decidedly going to ensure that you die to make sure you're not a problem, doesn't take much to get him to not want to do that.
I guess.
I mean, it worked on us.
I don't know.
I don't know if you've gotten any big picture stuff yet from all the stuff I gave you, but we were on track to be that team before you joined.
Big muscles, no brain. You gave me a whole folder full of things. I'm still trying to piece it together.
No, I know it can be difficult to change between teams, especially in a pre-established one, but for whatever accounts, after your performance on that last mission, you're just as much a part of this team as anybody else, as far as I'm concerned.
Is Warren getting another leg?
Oh yeah, they're gonna give him a bitchin' metal one.
All right. I think I'll have to have actually like a talk with him at some point that doesn't involve him just scowling at me.
I think they're also giving him an eye because that shit got ruined.
Okay. He really is tough.
Yeah, boy's too stubborn to die. It's after my own fucking heart. Yeah, once you get a little bit further through this recovery, I think I'm going to change things a little bit in this team. So come find me when they clear you to walk around on your own.
I don't suspect that'll be too long, but yeah.
No, get some rest so you can speed recover this shit and get out of here.
Rest hard.
See? The nurses don't get it, but you do.
The nurses definitely are giving you guys a look.
Yeah, the nurse definitely gives you a look.
Like the blood pressure of like Alita is just like going up, and they're like, no.
Watcher, at some point, you are taken out of surgery and left in a recovery room. There's a nurse hovering around. There's different monitors beeping and whatnot. And in comes Badge, carrying what looks like a clipboard because everybody in the space future 80s carries clipboards still.
At least he got the upgraded one that's basically a closed case.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, boss.
Hey, how you feeling, kiddo?
Like hammered shit.
You don't look so bad. Must be all on the inside.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, Badge is just being a smart ass.
I'm just glad I have everything attached to me and there was a way to stuff it all in and bring it home.
Well, I guess, coming back with all your parts, even if maybe they're not in the same order as they were originally. So I hear the hip bone is attached to the thigh bone instead of the other way around.
You're the fucking worst. You know that.
The things I do to keep my stress down. Listen, Pike had some good words for you.
I'm honestly a little surprised.
He's a little, he's about as prickly as a cactus, I know. A gigantic fucking cactus.
I had read. You gave me stuff to read about him and the AWs.
Yep.
He's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah. Now imagine the 24 that you were going up against and what was going through their heads until he somehow managed to talk them down.
Bad shit, dude.
Yes. So, want to go do it again?
When?
Again, I gotta keep these, like, he's just got this lighthearted humor about him. It's grim and dark, but it's lighthearted at the same time.
When do you, like, if you want me to do it soon, I'm gonna need a purse for my guts.
Oh, you won't need a colostomy bag for this one. Everything will still stay there while you're in hypersleep. You'll be fine. It's rain when you come back out on the other side and go take down General Vaughn. That's what we're waiting on. It's the final order.
That's big.
The nurse says it's an ostomy bag.
It's a what?
It's an ostomy.
I don't get it. Am I missing something here?
Yeah. The bag that you would need your organs in, or like a bladder, is an ostomy bag. And
the colostomy is for body waste. Is that the difference?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Listen, I'm very clearly not a doctor here. Okay.
That's big.
Yeah. So I sent up the back brief for your guys' actions. I'm just waiting for SecDef to bless off. I imagine a capture kill is going to come down anytime. Plus or minus transmission delay. Pike's team doesn't have a medic. And he says that...
if you don't mind me, sir.
Yeah.
Did Pike tell you anything interesting? Or maybe unexpected?
You're really gonna... I mean, given the nature of our job, you're gonna have to broaden that scope a little bit. Or perhaps narrow it down. Not sure which way you need to go.
Outside of mission parameters?
Oh, are you talking about the blackguard that turned coat and disappeared? I don't know what you're talking about.
So I guess he did tell you then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cool. I'm on a lot of painkillers. I'm confused.
It evidently. So, but check this out. So he is willing to take you back in his team or with his team, part of his team. It's up to you though. You could join the team full term. You know I can push the paperwork. I don't think it has to go much higher than me to get it blasted off.
To be totally frank, I do not want to do anything long term with those fucking weirdos. They're insane. But if we're waiting for orders to take down General Vaughn, that's more important. I'd like to try to help make that happen, and then I would like to go back to my last job.
Want to go back to a regular line unit?
No, I want to come back to just like...
Oh, this
I
job.
want to come back to this job. Yeah.
Oh.
Normal spook shit.
You want to be on my spook team? Okay. Don't think you would use that word.
Yeah, I want to come back.
He would call it a special action committee team.
After, this mission for dealing with General Vaughn is very important. I would like to help get that done, but when it's over, I'd like to rejoin the team.
Done.
Okay. I'll focus on recovery and
do that. I imagine this is going to come. Yep, just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I think we have a lingering camera shot of Watcher just kind of gradually fading out, and Badge just standing there going, "Yeah, just go back to sleep." And he just turns around and leaves.
Hey, at least Watcher didn't run around on that ship for several additional hours while having guts not where they're supposed to be.
Yep.
Scott did the dumps.
Wescott, about an hour or two after Pike has come and gone, and it feels like it's probably been 20 or 30 minutes since a nurse has checked up on you. There is a gentle rapping sound on one of the rods that holds the curtain up around you.
So, what Friday Sharp implement was she able to steal from the nurses when they weren't looking?
I don't know, but you see a head poke in. It's a very familiar head. Well, let me rephrase that. The face attached to the head.
Can she make a mobility roll to see if she managed to steal something pointy?
You know what? Go for it. Fuck it. Why not? This will be funny.
Can I do it sneakily?
I mean, you don't want to do it, obviously.
Yeah, make a mobility to see if you can, pickpocket a scalpel or something, or well, it'll be like a pen. Okay.
And then I need to roll a +2 to that. Sorry.
It's fine.
The dog doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I succeed.
Yeah, you've
I,
got
po-
it. You
I
definitely
pocket
grabbed.
a
Yeah, you definitely grabbed
a
the.
sharp.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I pocket a sharp and pointy pair of scissors or some shit.
A face pops in. Are you decent? It's Tom Stevenson.
Yes.
And he steps in, and he promptly sits down on the side of your bed and grabs your hand. Thank God you're okay.
Does he grab? He grabs the hand that isn't.
I will let you determine which hand has the sharp instrument in it.
Yeah, because I imagine she will have been like on her side, resting
Mm-hmm.
with Stuffy,
Yeah.
and sharp object hidden in hand under Stuffy. So he grabs the hand on top.
Yeah.
I just blink and go, did they change my drugs? What?
No. This is me. I promise.
Mhm.
This is me. Please don't stab me with those scissors. That would leave a mark.
And then I looked around and I was like, oh yeah, I did take those earlier.
Yeah. You here? Let me take
You're on
those
the
before you hurt
spook ship.
yourself. Huh?
Like you're on the spook ship.
Uh-huh. I am. Josephus
As he
is
carefully and gingerly takes
Jesus.
the scissors away from me.
Yeah, and he says, Josephus is my boss.
Oh, you mean Badge Man?
Yes. Don't tell him I said what his name was. It's his last name, though. Josephus. I call him Josephus because it's funny. The way it's spelled.
You mean he actually has a legal name? Huh. Surprised they didn't strip that
I
out.
actually, you know what, now that I think about it, I'm not sure if that is his legal name, but that's the name he uses here.
Huh.
But yeah, that's my boss.
That explains why we kept running into each other.
Oh,
Yeah, totally wasn't meant to spy on you. So how are you feeling? Kane got that.
She's kind of just she does the looking anywhere but at him moment. The nurses are probably less than pleased that I was walking around after being but before being patched up.
Well, I mean, you were in the middle of a mission. It happens that you get banged up and you have to wander off and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you're fine now, right?
Yeah, they said all the bits are inside and attached to where they're supposed to be now. And
That's good. That's favorable.
I look over his shoulder. There is still nurse death glaring at me because I occasionally try to get up and wander off.
No, in fact, actually, it seems as though there are no nurses around at the moment.
Oh, Miss Deathglare isn't there at her desk anymore.
No, I asked them to give us a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We sent off a rather large packet of information to Lamont Station. And out of character, you would know that that's where the Secretary of Defense is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows in the Marine Corps that Lamont Station is pretty much the station headquarters. It's like knowing that DC is in charge of the entire U.S.
Yeah.
It's the space Pentagon.
Yeah, pretty much. And he says,
I like the hold on here.
uh-huh.
I'm trying to think of what shape that is, but I think it's like
The space Pentagon. It's a polyhedral. It's like it's a 12-sided die in space.
Yeah.
Because every side of a 12-sided die is a 5-sided. It's a 5-sided shape. I think.
Oh.
Maybe it's a hexagon.
Oh.
Hold on.
No,
it is. It is. I actually have a 12-sided right here in front of me. So every face has 5 sides. You can't see it because it's just gonna disappear. There it goes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's a pentagon, all right.
Yep. So that's it. And then I'm thinking maybe like a couple of spokes coming off of the two faces, and with like radiators and solar
Yeah,
solar
there's
panels and stuff?
totally spikes coming off all the corners because it's funny.
Yeah, of course. Not Warhammer 40k spikes. That's totally different.
There's spikes and antenna, no skulls.
Yes, correct.
Hmm.
So anyway, yeah, he says, so yeah, we sent a lot of. It was a pretty big packet. We should hear something back within a day or so. I imagine you guys are going to be heading out again.
Yeah, that's looking that way.
He taps your hand. He's like, tap. He's like, that's exciting, isn't it?
Hey, we kept them from crashing a ship into the station. It does work out nicely.
I heard some of the story. There's rumors. Obviously, I can never say this word. Compartmentalization is a thing.
Don't say that like that's the only word you struggle with.
It's not. Archipelago.
You're not alone with having random words, bro. But in any case, yeah. So what? Am I allowed to talk to you about things?
It's probably just best that we don't for now. And then he leans in a little bit. And he's like, "It's certainly not here." But
I'm assuming she is still drugged up.
Yeah.
And the nurse is probably up to them to keep her from trying to wandering around.
Yeah, they're starting to wander back in, and he kind of leans in a little bit. He's like, "Well, I just wanted to check on you. I have plenty of work to do, of course, but just wanted to check in with you again, and hope that I get a chance to see you again before you guys leave again." That's a lot of times using the word again. And then he kisses your hand, and he takes off. Unless you have something else you want to throw at him or say.
Oh no, she does he goes to kiss her hand and then she does the head pet. She is definitely not all there.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that Rodance is catching on to that. He's been watching them for the Badge Man, but Wescott's not catching that right now.
Well, Wescott caught it, but she doesn't. It's not percolated in her brain yet. Like she understands.
Yeah.
In the back of her head, but next time they meet, she's probably going to be pissed. Not right now, after she is well drugged up.
Yep. All right.
She's currently also has squishy in her arms, so that definitely changes her mood.
Oh yeah. All right. Any other scenes that you guys want to do?
Do they bother giving Pike a security element, or is he trusted at his word to just stay to hallways when he runs the ship?
You actually, they let you do what you do, but you also notice that after a while, whether experimentation or maybe you wanted to go down a particular passageway or something, that eventually there are areas that are just simply locked to you, with or without the appropriate signage indicating sensitive areas and whatnot.
He doesn't care. He's just doing his runs. He'll just say like, okay, well, I guess I'm not running this way right now, whatever.
Yeah. Like it's a very subtle "you shall not pass." It's definitely "you shall not pass," but it's very subtle at the same time. It's not screaming in your face Gandalf with a sword and staff.
Yeah. He'll go for his sprints, the length of ship sprints, to just try to get himself at least a bit tired.
As soon as I saw him reaching for something, I was like, I knew he's going to throw something out there. Wind sprints?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's going to head back to the troop bay and wait and see who visits, who's there. Has anybody come back yet? He hasn't seen the flight crew, and he doesn't know where they are either.
They are currently under sleep. Whatever the term is.
They're still in cryo.
Thank you. Because at the time there was no reason to pull them out, and so Badge never really thought about it. Or at least that's the theory you have. Nothing also unless, like, assuming you at least know a couple of things to say to the computer, like, you could easily unthaw. No, not unthaw. That's a dumb word. I hate that fucking word. You could easily thaw them out. The computer monitor screen is no longer saying awaiting input, by the way.
Yeah. Pike is waiting for two things. He's waiting for a personal conversation with Badgeman, and he's waiting for, his people to start filtering into the troop bay.
Okay. It's been several hours. Sorry, go ahead.
He's probably like on his way back like stopped by like the hangar
Uh-huh.
and grabbed a few heavy things to bring to the troop bay.
Obviously, at some point, a technician, some low-rated nobody or other, but because of nobody wears a uniform specifically, you can't tell what his rank is if he has one. And he's just like, "Hey, sir, make sure you please put that back when you're done, just the way you found it."
I did last time. Get out of my face.
You don't have to be a dick about it. God, I just want to make sure my shit gets back where I got it from, or where you get it from.
Do you?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of passive aggressive in here.
You know, he's gonna. Yep. He puts it down and turns and faces the tech. It's like, do you see all of this? Do you see what came off the dropship a couple hours ago?
Listen. I got no beef with you, man. I just want my stuff put back when you're done. I don't
got
care.
no beef with. I got no beef with you either. But I need to pick shit up and put it down, or I'm gonna start breaking things.
Okay.
This is me helping you.
I'm not stopping you from doing that. You're stopping you from doing that right now.
Stop talking to me. And he picks the thing up and he keeps going.
He's like, I don't get it. He doesn't say anything because it's obvious at this point if he says anything, he's realized that you're one of those guys that has to have the last word. And so he's just like, I don't fucking get it, man. I don't fucking get it. These goddamn Marines.
Yeah, so Wescott would agitate for one of the nurses to roll her around to see the other couple of people of the team, because she is very not happy. She has not yet seen them.
Sure.
So between, like, she gets out of surgery, she has to visit with Pike, she has to visit with Dude, she has a nap, she wakes up again, and now it's absolutely insists that she must see the other people.
Well, you have Wright and you have Watcher in your hospital wing.
I mean,
Pike is busy yelling at a tech for yelling at him to put shit back.
And then she's a little irritated that she has not yet seen Warren too. Like, she just wants to look at him in icebox, basically. The fact that she has to,
the most you get is a nurse telling you, yeah, he's in there, and it's a room. It's very clearly that's a surgery room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
operating room was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, as long as he is still in the operating room, like, she's okay with that. But she wants to physically put eyes on them if she can.
Yeah, but yeah, the other three are available: Watcher, Wright, and no, it would be Watcher and Wright.
Yes, so she will go look for Wright first. I'm assuming the nurse is rolling her around in a wheelchair because they refuse to let her walk around.
Begrudgingly. They don't say anything, but it's totally in their body language. Or your perception. It's not clear, but to you, perception is reality.
She probably also has stolen another sharp and pointy instrument, as just randomly.
They let you. It feels like at this point that they just let you.
Like her security object.
Yep.
So that just
isn't the
with
squishy
sharp
one.
objects in her hands.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
It's her security stabber.
Yeah. Okay.
Her emotional support eviscerator.
Yeah. And in addition to the emotional stuffed animal.
Yeah.
She has to have both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she checks in and Wright first. So she just gets rolled around the curtain.
Sergeant. Wescott Sergeant.
Sergeant Wescott. Hello, I'm just resting. And I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either.
The fucking deadpan. Hi, I am just resting. I hate this. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna shut up now.
Yeah, as soon as you get back to the troop bay, Pike is probably going to have some random activities to do.
Well, hopefully I don't have to do them in crutches, but then again, they seem to be really good with the healing part of this whole journey.
They'll probably give you a boot, if nothing else. It's just a couple toes, right?
Yeah, I think it's like the pinky toe and the middle toe for some reason. None of the other toes.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. How has your recovery been?
They keep telling me I'm not allowed to get up and walk around and do things. They were very unhappy that I made them roll me over here instead.
What did you end up with?
Just a busted up kidney. They patched it back together.
Okay. That tracks with the information that I've been given with this team.
Yeah. Keep in mind that you clearly remember her making you sit on the dropship as she was going around doing things because she would not let you out of the dropship. I was like, Is ye old gigantic folder stack still in here as reading material that Pike gave you?
Oh, probably opens up a drawer or something on the side bed. And it's like, yes, just this whole like brick.
I take the break from you for a minute, and I have them roll me over next to you, and I flip through a couple sections, and it's like, yeah, that was stupid, and oh yeah. So and then she flips back towards the beginning. So you know those chest burster dudes that we kind of spaced, and then I hand you the section of the mission where it talks about how things bursted out of people's chests. Yeah, you know those people we spaced, and then that captain dude we spaced. Yeah, it's because of this, and
Yes.
then she's like, stink.
Oh, that makes a little bit more sense.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The more she talks, the more you realize they have her on lots of drugs.
Yeah, but also like the context is starting to come in and be like, okay, so some of this stuff is like relatable to like the real world and not just like information on paper. So
Yeah.
that's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of other things we've run into that I would have pointed out specifically in the folder.
Yeah. Is specifically gonna ask about the I think it was Pandora where we were being carpet bombed or like carpeted with bombs. What was that? It was at the meatpacking place with the other
Yeah, Pandora.
AWs.
The Pandora mission was
Are we talking the one where we had a beachhead?
Yeah, the beachhead at the starport.
The beachhead with the AW.
You had to go. You were looking for the two scientists. Ended
Yeah.
up leaving with an android's head or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think
Yeah,
you
I
guys
mean-
actually took the whole android out. I don't remember now.
We did.
whole
We
Right,
took the
yeah.
where I
entire android.
expose you to the joys of call for fire from orbit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see here, this is what happens when you have Mother on your side and you get to call, chunks of metal down from orbit and they turn into really big explosions, and that's so helpful.
She's gonna like look at another part of the report and be like, so Warren and someone I've never met before, I think was the last medic, Winston.
Yeah.
They went to like off-site and then killed civilians by accident / not accident.
Okay, look, when you have somebody who gets all upset and you try to restrain them and they slip and bash their head onto something, that's just an accident. Like,
Is that when they slip and bash their heads 6 times in a row?
oh,
Okay. So from my notes on this, and apparently is that Winston shot one of them with a shotgun, and then the other one was killed by headbutt.
like
By
no,
Warren?
like literally, I watched the video. The dude kind of tried to throw fisticuffs, failed so badly, he then tripped over his own feet and back planted into the corner of a dresser, like an end table.
Is that what
Like,
the video ended up with?
I
No,
give
I mean,
him, I
like,
give Wright like the deadpan look. It's like
okay.
ended up
Okay.
with. No, that's what everybody concluded, and it was written down and reviewed as.
Okay.
Look, do I look like I had enough time to customize video edits? Seriously, we were
No,
being.
you're right. I'm being paranoid.
Come on now, they had us back on the dropship. I didn't have time for that. She giggles.
All right.
Wright's face. Because I'm sure
Moving
Wright
on.
is making that expression that's similar to what you had there for a moment.
Yeah, kind of like straight line.
Yeah.
No actual smiles, just kind of like, okay, fine.
Yeah. And then I go through like the couple of spots where we tried to help people. Did not go so well.
And she
mean,
appreciates those. Yeah, because like
like
a
we
lot
didn't
of
kill
people made it
everybody.
off of that.
Like
No,
we
a lot
left
of
them
people made it
alone.
off that planet.
And I
Yeah,
mean,
that
there was a
the
spot where like we didn't like the people who jumped us in the jungle. They didn't actually all die, like purposefully.
the first sortie.
Oh, you mean okay?
Sortie?
Yeah. So she scrolls all the way back to like the first one. It's like, okay, so these guys shot at us, so they ended up, body disposaled, and then
Mm-hmm.
these guys shot us out of the air, and then there was some RPG stuff, and so then we ran into some, and then I looked through the report, going, oh, we didn't report those people, did we? Yeah, there were some native people who had some information that we did not include in the report. And then she keeps scrolling.
Native people?
People who were
Okay.
native to the planet but not alliance to the UPP or USMs or being
All right.
UA.
Well, having read through most of the reports, I really feel like a lot of this comes out of one of those 1980s like sci-fi movies from like the classical era. It just seems so
Outlandish.
unbelievable that you guys had to deal with all of this being regular like 4-man, 5-man team.
Yeah.
So amazing.
I just want to throw in, because I've been watching Battlestar Galactica, like a rewatch, and like there are so many things that happen to some of these characters that from like a mental health standpoint, like how do they not snap and murder everybody? Like one dude's been like, at some point there's one character that's like, yeah, there they go, they're back in jail again for fucking ever. Like for months at a time. Like how do they not kill each other? And so I'm just like, yeah, this is outlandish. How did this team act like a 1980s action team?
Yeah,
And
like,
how are they not fucked up in the head?
and then
Spoiler
They were
alert, they
quite.
are fucked up in the head.
and then Alita goes like, "Yeah, that makes a lot of sense." Yeah, okay. But yeah, I don't get my coffee in the morning, and it's like the same thing. It's just a tragedy.
Yeah, but after but does Wright have anything she wants to talk about while Westcott is being overly sherry?
Okay. Give me a second. I gotta like metabolize here. Um, hmm. Queenie.
Oh, you
Queen
mean mind
bug.
control lady?
Yes.
Bug
Um,
thing. Let
well,
me tell you,
yeah,
it takes multiple rounds to the chest from a sniper rifle, and it keeps going.
yeah, and you took one round of a sniper rifle also, did you?
Oh, I think that was the wasn't
Yeah.
that the other rifle?
No, it's my
Or was it?
DMR.
Yeah, it's a damn.
Yeah.
And then she's like, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Yep, still have scar.
Yeah, I'd imagine. And that's when the medic had passed away, right?
Yeah. So, when you see things that aren't actually there because of Xeno fuckery, sometimes you shoot at things not realizing they're our own people. Walking through the woods in the middle of a space station was definitely an ordeal.
Oh, because you were affected by it too. Hmm. And getting commanded to start paying attention to things helped getting out of that situation. Do you think we're gonna end up having another Queenie thing, bug
I,
monster in the
I kind
future?
of doubt it because I don't think that they were dumb enough to have another one in a spot where it can control people.
Okay. Should I continue to have my rocket launcher?
Yes.
Okay.
If nothing else, Pike can definitely borrow it and shoot it at someone.
I've read the reports. He's good at that.
hmm I mean, if nothing else, we also could use it to drop lots and lots of rocks on tops of people's heads too.
Okay. Tactical.
We did that.
And then it's just gonna look through the notes and then go, yeah, I think that's pretty much all my random weird questions because everything else seems like it's based in reality.
hmm Yeah, so after you're done talking, Westcott will literally lean over and pat you on the head a couple times and then make the nurse roll her off.
I'm ready to be
Well drugged
tired.
up Westcott is funny. So yeah, she goes looking for she actually looks through the window at Warren in surgery to make sure he's actually in there. And then she just looks to the nurse behind her going, let's go find Watcher. And the nurse continues to begrudgingly roll her over to wherever Watcher is.
Yeah, when you see Watcher, he as you are entering Watcher's little area, Badge himself has left like just a moment or two ago.
I just grin and wave at Badge as he's leaving.
Yep. Also, I'm going to go try not to strangle my cat. He is meowing at my son's bedroom door again, so I'll be back in just a second.
Yeah. So watch her. Hmm.
He's got his eyes are closed. So you probably have to call that to him.
She does the knock knock. Watch her.
Who's I don't need more drugs.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let me give them to you anyways.
probably not. Is there something I could do for you, Sergeant?
Just want to check in on you. Better to put my eyes on my people.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment. We brought all of me back. Although I suppose we did bring his leg in a bag, so
Yeah. Surprisingly good turnout for the level of generalized fuckery that are our missions.
if you say that that went well, then you're fucking nuts. But maybe that's just your fucking tempo. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm high. Please don't take offense to anything I have to say.
I'm sure they've given us some of the same stuff. It works great, doesn't it?
I mean, I know what they put in my veins. I don't know how much you know about what they put in you.
And then I just look at the turn. I do the big, huge turn to the wrist. So what did they give us?
It, I am glad I made it back.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure any of us were. Uh,
Hmm.
that got out of hand really fast.
Yes, it did. And based on what we brought back, sounds like we're gonna have another drama-filled mission not too distant from now. How are you feeling about it?
I got officially asked if I want to go.
Mm. Well, I won't pressure you either way. I just want to let you know that I am glad we got you back here. And I know you didn't sign up for the long haul with this craziness, so the choice is up to you.
I'm not the right kind of person to become one of you.
Mm. Yeah.
I took a lateral move to an assignment here, and I really like my job here.
Yeah, the spook stuff does seem like it could be cool, but that's really not my tempo either.
It's a different kind of stress, and it's one that suits me better.
Mhm.
But if what I hear is true, and if the next op is what rumors say it might be, I did say that I would go.
Hmm.
At least do that one with you. Someone's got to make sure that we've got enough bags for all your parts.
Very much appreciated. I just tap like I don't like get like super close to him like I did the people on our team, but I definitely do like the tap the corner of the bed like I'm patting like I would if I was patting him on the shoulder. And then I leave him in peace. Like I don't feel the need to talk with him as much.
Yeah,
He looked like he was tired.
he just closes his eyes and lays back and waits for you to leave.
Yeah.
He
And then I look at the
dismisses her like
nurse
he
and
did
go,
badge.
Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. So I turn to the nurse going, back to bed now?
Okay, Pike. There is I guess, a PA announcement. Staff Sergeant Pike. Your presence is requested in the briefing room. Hey, put that back where you got it from.
I'm not done with it. Can you like
You
stop
know
by?
off the corner somewhere is that same one from earlier. Goddamn doorheads.
He'll just like stop like at his way to the troop bay to go to the briefing room. He'll stop by like a sink and splash water in his face, and then he'll just walk straight into the briefing room.
Okay. In there is Badge leaning against a table or something. And he said, all right, I've got about 10 minutes before I have to go sit in some stupid meeting. What do you need?
Is there personal talk?
Yes.
I don't know if it'd be fair to ask these Marines to go back to regular service.
You're talking your people.
And me, honestly.
Okay.
Especially if we're going to be the ones taking the shot at General Vaughn.
Noted.
This put us in a place where our idea of who can and can't be trusted has been shattered in a way that I don't think we can serve like regular Marines again. So here's my ask.
Okay.
We each, at the end of the mission, the survivors get a promotion and option to retire.
Okay. Anything else?
Same for the flight crew.
No, come on. Sorry, my kid. Oh, this is what my son likes to do. When the cat is being a jerk in his room, he grabs him and he tries to shove him into the camera. I have no idea why. I haven't figured it out. You see, he takes a moment and on his clipboard, he opens up the metallic case cover and you realize it's not an actual clipboard inside. It's like a little semi-sorted laptop data pad deal. Because you can hear some keypad crunching. But either way, you can tell he's inputting notes or something into something. And then he closes it up. He says, I will shoot it up to the secretary, see what she says. But you're right. I agree. Especially after this upcoming mission. Unless for some strange reason you're not on it, which I don't foresee happening. Going back to the rest of the Corps after that would be a hell of a challenge. There's only really two options that I can think of. To continue in the Spec Ops community or discharge from service. And I think those are really the only two viable options for your team after all of this is said and done. But I'll push it up to the secretary, see what she has to say, and get back to you as soon as I have an answer that makes sense.
If it makes any difference, there's zero doubt in my mind that if this team is given the opportunity, we will absolutely go with no reservation.
I had a feeling you'd say that. In fact, I said as much to the secretary on my initial intel push, which I still haven't heard anything back from, so I'm actually curious what this meeting is that I'm about to go to. But,
also, is there a reason the flight crew's still on ice?
Oversight, that's a thing.
I can go wake them up if you're good with it.
No, Karen should be off your dropship now. And, I mean, Karen's still on the UPP ship. Listen, out of character, I almost forgot about the fucking Kremlin. That you guys would be bringing it with you. I'm so used to you guys rolling around in the Saturday the 14th. So, just to be clear, you guys slept in your dropship because it was just more cozy in there than to sleep on the UPP ship. Karen was on the dropship the whole time, and then they put Karen was on the UPP ship the whole time once you took command of it. And then Karen was entered into the dropship once you got close enough to the black ship because they wanted to make sure you guys were friendly. And when you go back, Karen is off of Saturday the 14th. It's still on the Kremlin.
Yeah. They say if there's no particular, I can go wake them up.
Yeah. No, that should be fine. Should be fine.
All right. But I'll reach out a hand to shake his hand.
He will shake it back. Predator to handshake.
You know?
It's not an 80s future mission thing if it's not Predator handshake.
I think you're the first spook I've run into that I haven't actually wanted to kill. So.
Well, that doesn't speak well of my... You know what? I'm just going to take that as the compliment it was meant to be. You could tell he's like, wow, that means the other spooks you've encountered were shitbags.
So, all right, well, if you got somewhere to be, I'm not going to take up any more time than I need.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I need to get going now.
Cool. And he just like unceremoniously turns, I mean, he's a punctual guy. It's not going to waste this guy's time.
Yep.
Especially without a favor, so.
Yeah. I imagine you're going to want to go wake up Eckhart so you can kiss her deeply and profoundly.
Like Pike is even remotely that romantic. He's going to go wake her up, though. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, it takes her a moment to come to, but she's awake and alert.
She's standing there with a hydration pack and a cup of coffee made in her mug.
She takes the coffee first.
Yeah.
She's an officer, for fuck's sake. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she sits up, she takes coffee, she takes a few sips, rubs her eyes a little bit. She's like, all right, okay. Didn't expect to see you waking me up. I take it we made it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody died in transit, so
Well,
bonus.
that's a plus. All right, I guess we got to go find badge guy and start getting this stuff handed over to him.
Already done.
What? What do you mean already done? We just got here.
I took care of it for you.
Wait a minute, why are you so sweaty waking up like that? You turn the heater up in your pod or something? Why are you so sweaty?
Rage control exercises.
That means we. How long have I been asleep after you woke up?
Like 9 hours.
You son of a bitch. Why would you. Why am I. You know what? Fine. And she just pops out, like you hear like skin on deck tile, and she just walks off to the shower. She doesn't even say shit else. She takes her coffee with her, though. She's gonna have a shower coffee.
You just called out. I'll be in the troop bay if you want to talk.
Fuck you.
We might actually have time now.
No, we don't.
Throws his hands up. Walks out.
Yeah, no, she's gonna go shower and she comes back out, 10 or 15 minutes later. Dressed for the most part. Dressed enough for, afternoon TV in the Space 80s future.
Yeah. Pike is back in the main area in the troop bay, picking up the thing and putting it back down. And like he's picking up and putting it down and squatting with it, and just like working his way across the bay and then working his way back across the bay.
Doing lunges. Picks it up. Lunge.
Weighted lunges.
Set it down, pick it up. Lunge.
Feeling better?
I'm still trying to figure out why I was asleep for so long, but whatever. Sips coffee.
But
I suppose. Did you even wake up Sanchez? No, you didn't. She turns back around and she goes to wake him up.
say, look,
You hear from the background. She's like, I don't know why they didn't wake us up, but it's go take a shower. We'll figure out post op in a little bit.
hey, when I got permission, I woke you up. He's your problem.
I'm going to remember you said that. I am too, motherfucker.
Like just
I don't know if
laughs.
you'd actually throw that motherfucker part in there. You do outrank him.
Pike just laughs. It's just like an open belly laugh. He has to stop what he's doing. He doesn't want to drop it and fuck up the box.
Yeah, that would scratch up the floor, and somebody would have to fix that, and that deck technician would be pissed. Yeah, so eventually eventually she comes back over to you with her coffee and says, "Okay, talk. You've got 5 minutes." And then she
He's
thinks
happy with-
that's how long it takes him to take a shower. And after that, we're gonna go post op the Saturday.
Last mission was a suicide mission. Next mission's a suicide mission.
Yeah, I've detected that pattern with you fuckers. I don't know why everything has to be a all or nothing, do or die, semper fi. I guess I don't know.
Well, but check this out. All right, like there are things now that are more important than doing this forever. I talked the deals being proposed that after this, they give us promotions and retirement. So we can stop the insanity train if we want to get off.
She is actually a little stunned. She's never considered. I think you get the idea that maybe she's never considered getting off the train, as you said.
And he gives her a second before he continues, and he's like, this next mission is more important than we are, but after that, I know that I can't be more for this if I stay on the train, and I'm willing to get off it. And I made sure we had a way to do it if we want to.
I don't want to say she gives you a blank look. There's definitely a look of, holy shit, this is not something I've considered before. And then it's ramped up and amplified by the fact that with all the crazy missions that she's only nominally aware of, like she doesn't know all the full details like you guys do, but she knows enough that this is outside the ordinary as it is. And so she's just like, this is clearly something that she's never considered in any way, shape, or form, and it's just further compacted by the fact that these have all been basically black bag ops.
And he'll just like step forward and hug her and say, "Look, I didn't make any choices for anybody. I just made sure you had one.
There is
If
a
you
distinct
if you want
lack
to
of a
stay,
hug in return as she's still in processing mode.
if you still want to stay on this train, I can still get out and find a way. I'm not asking you to give up anything you love. I know you like I know what flying is.
Yeah, she takes a moment. She's like, I'm giving something up if I don't follow you. If I follow you, I'm either not flying or I'm flying with you. If I follow you, I'm either in the Marines or I'm not in the Marines, and I don't know which is scarier.
If if you stop flying for the Marines, we'll find a way for you to fly. I'll fucking fix things. I'll carry heavy things to put on your ship or some shit. I don't know. I don't want you. I'm not asking you to give up flying. I'm willing to give up the core for you, if that's what we're going to do. And if it's not,
when you say
then
give
let
up
me
the
know.
core for her, she just looks up at you, and she's definitely like that. It's not even, I don't even know what it would be. It's not a deer in the headlights look. It's definitely, but she's like the deer in the headlights look, but she narrows her eyes at you, and she just takes
The
a step
expression
backwards.
you're looking for is dumbfounded.
Yeah, dumbfounded. And she just takes a step back, and she's like, starts to say something, stops, starts to say something else, stops again, and then she's like, I gotta go post op Saturday. And then she turns to walk away.
Yeah, and he lets her go. He's not trying to like throw anything else onto this.
Yeah, that was a big bomb right there.
Yeah.
In her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That you would give up the core for her. Because she knows that
My life
not long ago, those words
never
never would have come out of your mouth.
Yeah, and it's like not only that, but there's the extra way. He literally grew up in the core.
Mm-hmm.
That's his entire life, not even just figuratively.
And I think I don't know if she necessarily fully comprehends that, but just the fact that, like, if nothing else, she knows you're a lifer. Absolutely a lifer. And then all of a sudden, you're like, I would give up the core for you. And she's just like, ooh, I'm going to go fix something that doesn't need to be fixed now.
Yeah. He processes that like, oh, right. That's like a rage management thing. Cool. I'll be here.
Yeah. Although it's not anything to do with rage. This is like profound statement here.
Yeah.
With that, I want.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My team members start filtering in from their injuries and their super 80s space meds.
Warren is still out. At some point, the best way to explain this is they take Warren. You guys see they take Warren out of the operating room. He is in a sleep pod. And they wheel this one into the Saturday the 14th and basically do a 1-for-1 swap, leaving him in the pod the whole time. You get a Cliff's Notes version of he needs to stay in the pod in order to be mission ready. Within the next, if he stays in the pod effectively for the next 18 to 24 hours, he'll be fine. The other two end up getting released, but shortly thereafter, before you really get much of a chance to interact with them, notice comes down. The ship is jumping. Not jumping. Whatever it is they do in Alien. It's going FTL, so everybody needs to go get into bed. You've got approximately 5 minutes before the final notice of get in bed now or your brains will be on the walls. And you are in whatever sleep bay, troop bay that you want to be in. I'm assuming the Saturday the 14th being inside the hangar bay of the black ship that I've never named.
Yeah.
That I kind of want to call Black Betty, but that doesn't sound right.
That ship is our ship.
The Saturday? Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's what I figured you guys would want. And that's where Warren ends up, is in the Saturday.
Yeah. Keep the team together. We'll sleep together.
Okay. So you've got a moment. I'll give you a quick scene, but it can't be long. Watcher is, well, he's not wheeled out, but he definitely comes out and he's probably dragging a bag, not really carrying it over his shoulder. He's just literally dragging it, maybe. So if he's kind of like looking for a bunk at this point.
I'll go over, I'll grab his bag, and I'll put it in some cargo netting and just tell him to get in a pod.
Okay.
I'll look to Wright and Wescott. This team's different now. Things that we've done enough missions together that this is no longer an augmented team. We are, for all intents and purposes, a special forces team. No matter what happens in the future, the trajectory of your careers are completely different. You will never go back to regular line units. It's just not possible. You're too highly experienced in weird fucking shit. And the only way to continue to survive that is for us to be a family that a team like that ought to be. So from now on, we are going to act like the team that we are. We are on first names. We will give respect, and we will take care of each other, because this team comes before anything else.
I'm so used to referring to her last name. I guess she holds a hand out to Wright and introduces herself as Octavia. You don't actually use the first names up until this point.
You hear Eckhart in the background, by the
Alina.
way. She's like, any of you fuckers call me Karen. We're going to have a small problem. Also, Octavia has more syllables than Wescott. I'm just going to call you Wescott. And she just goes back into her little sleep pod thing, which is, slightly removed from the rest of y'all. Sanchez is just like, whatever, dude. And he's already closed his shit. It's like, I've had enough of this bullshit.
Does Wright pause in character as well?
Well, I mean, I was waiting for. Okay. Takes the hand. Alita.
Pike holds a hand out. Heath.
Yeah, I'm still calling you fuckface.
You get to call me whatever the hell you want.
Then Octavia would turn to Heath and just shake his hands. Head nod. Heath.
Let's get some sleep. We have millions of lives to save.
That should be the tagline, like a bumper sticker on the back of the Saturday the 14th.
Because of how Pike is, like, there's no sarcasm.
Yeah,
at all.
no,
He
it's
says
just
it
straight
flatly,
deadpan. I meant what I said. Yeah.
It's time to go save millions of lives. Get some sleep.
All right. All hands stand down, or all hands stand by for jump. We are departing for Pandora. Insert other appropriate phrases here that need to be said. You guys knock out and have your little sleepy dreams.
I take my stuffed animal into my pod with me.
Nice.
I limp over and just crawl into pod, stuffy included.
Yep. And then, because you're sleeping the whole way, it could be several weeks or months or years, whatever, but for you wake up and Badge is calling for everybody into y'all's briefing room. Well, into his briefing room.
Open up my smaller locker, grab my hydration pack, throw on my uniform. It's time to go.
All right. Eckhart and Sanchez, of course, remain on the Saturday the 14th for flight prep and all that.
Is Warren awake for this? For the briefing?
Yes, Warren is awake. You guys have been under the clocks. I'll say you've been under for a handful of days. Warren, you're going to be a little stiff for the next several hours, but nothing you can't handle, and your eye feels weird. Just weird. There's no other way to explain what it feels like.
Oh, just because it'd be fucking funny. It's like he's waking up, he's getting out of the pod, like he's been under for the surgery and everything. Yeah. Pike is walking by with his hydration pack and his uniform on, and he's like, "Hurry up, Matt!" And he's like, walks out.
How does Ward respond to that? As he's like, I'm just picturing Warren is waking up, and he's like, "Oh, I do have a leg. Oh, why does my eye feel weird? Who the fuck is Matt?"
just immediately feels like so much is missing. Like, okay, what is going on?
Okay.
And for comedy, Pike says that and just walks out to leave everyone else to explain what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Does
who's Matt?
Does Wescott wake up on the right side of the bed today?
Yes, she does.
Thank God.
Yeah, this would have been a bad day to not wake up on the right side.
Oh, yeah. So, Wescott carefully puts her stuffed animal back into her locker and pulls out a hydrate pack, and then just turns around and sees Warren waking up. It's like, "Hi, Matt."
I love the idea that nobody
on a first name respectful basis.
I was really loving the idea that nobody explained to Warren what this first name bullshit was for like at least another fucking hour and a half, just to see him struggle.
No, Wescott is nicer. Hi. She woke up on the good side today.
Oh, okay. Sergeant Wescott, how are you?
No. Held out hand. My name's Octavia. Hi, Matt.
Hello, Octavia.
And
that feels weird.
Like, yes, it does.
Yeah.
And we have a briefing to hurry off to, so.
Okay.
She just pats him on the back. Don't forget the pants.
Yeah, you hear on the PA at about that point, you hear all hands stand by for orbital insertion, stand by for combat insertion. 6 hours.
Oh God, not again. I can feel the drop pods coming. Okay.
You would recognize this as the 6 hour notice to that in about 6 hours you will be entering orbit and expecting combat situations.
Okay. We can do this. We got this. Looks down.
Warren's probably like, "Oh, great. Just enough time for me to get used to the stiffness in my leg."
Yeah, stiffness in my leg. Also, it doesn't feel quite right. Looks down. It's mostly steel colored. Why is it steel colored?
I feel like Sanchez comes by right when you like that. He looks over. He's like, "Hey, that's what happens when you lose a leg," and then claps you right on the back as he continues back into another section of the ship. He's like, "You'll get over it. You'll be all right."
Okay. All right.
And I think you look, and maybe like part of his arm is cybernetic as well. He's like, "You'll be all right."
He's gonna be like, "Okay, all right. I guess that's the thing, and nothing else has changed, and I will continue on with my day."
Have we gathered everybody into the briefing room?
Yeah, Mike is definitely there.
Mm-hmm.
Watcher's gonna sit like a little bit to the side of the group.
Excuse me, sorry. Badge is there. There's another person there, some like technician. In fact, just for the comedic effect, it's the same tech that was yelling at you about moving stuff around.
I did put his boxes back, and I was careful not to fuck up his floor boxes.
Yeah, he just doesn't like your attitude.
It's fine. I don't like his either.
And then of course, various holographic projections of. Actually, let me throw that up here. Darwin Island. Once you guys get all situated, Badgeman starts his little briefing, and he says, Thanks to you, Secretary of Defense is alive and well. The intel you've gathered during this war has exposed the Deep Void organization within our ranks. Several high-ranking officers are under arrest and pending court-martial. You personally have excised a massive cancerous tumor from the Marine Corps, and I cannot thank you enough. The Secretary has authorized me to grant you The Secretary has authorized me to grant you all field promotions, including Captain Eckhart and Staff Sergeant Sanchez, whose promotions I'll be attending to later and before you depart. Congratulations. He takes a moment to go and actually shake each of your guys' hands individually, and calling you by your new rank. He is obviously not aware of your guys' little first name trick bullshit that you just started. So it's Gunnery Sergeant Pike, Staff Sergeant Wescott, Corporal Warren, Lance Corporal Wright, and Lance Corporal Watcher.
New leg, new rank. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Warren is like, slow the fuck down, man.
I
This is
just
too
got
much.
a fucking raise for losing my leg.
I just
Hell
woke
yeah.
up. And then he comes back around and he says, all right, congratulations. Now, we do have a small problem, however. General Vaughn and some of her Deep Void pukes have managed to slip our nets and have gone rogue, more or less as I anticipated. She might have been good to you guys once, but no more. She is indeed a traitor to the Corps and United Americas. Of that, there is no more a mistake. Mother's deep analysis of the data obtained during your Go Fish mission, the scientists you were to recover from the Anisadora colony and its spaceport, turns out we weren't that far from her backyard in the first place back then. Or, well, you weren't. This is Darwin Island, and he points to the holographic projection that you guys see on Foundry. This appears to be her base of operations, and that island is about 120 kilometers from Anisadora, not far from where you were when you went on that little hunt. System sensor net shows the Blackguard's Tungu Along transport and Vaughn's Black Bart ship entering the Pandora system about a week ago, just before we left from our rendezvous. As of this morning, dropships have been making repeated cargo runs from the island to the Along in orbit. She's down there. Feel it. This ship is carrying a company of tactical types, about 80 people that can handle this sort of task. And when he says that, he looks over at Watcher, indicating, of course, that Watcher will not be going with them. He'll be going with you guys. This ship will engage the Along in orbit, and the company will make a frontal assault on the island. What I need your team to do is to be an infiltration team, slipping past their defenses and securing all Project Life Force, Berserker Program, and Deep Void data as possible, as evidence. Take Vaughn and any other Deep Void leaders alive. We've got to know how deep their bullshit goes, and they've got to face trial. So get them, get the data, and get out so we can nuke the damn site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. I feel like anytime I say nuking from orbit, I have to say that now. Here's what Satellite Recon has put together for us. Mother has examined several options for getting in, and I've boiled it down to 3. It's your asses on the line, so I'll leave the final decision to you. And that is where the show ends. That's where the episode ends. Is on that line. So next week
With
when
the reveal.
Sorry?
With the reveal of a secret volcano layer.
I mean, that's effectively what this is. Well, it's more lagoon-ish.
Oh, it's like a lake. Yeah, okay, I see.
But
now.
It's an island.
Like,
it very easily could have been a volcano at some point.
Isn't like the flooded crater of a volcano technically like a caldera or some shit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret caldera layer.
Yep.
It's very early James Bond, and I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, when you see the diagram of this fucking rig that's in the middle of the fucking caldera, you're gonna be like, I know that one. That's the one where they had the big satellite dish in like Colombia or something. Yeah, you guys are gonna be going down there to do capture kill stuff, and of course I'm gonna throw all kinds of alien bullshit at you. On that note, let's talk experience. Everybody gets a point for participation. Yay! Some of these are probably not gonna happen, but this happens a lot with downtime scenarios, but did anybody risk or sacrifice to get their personal agenda? I have to ask. Sometimes I
No.
miss shit and just don't remember.
I don't know how. I don't know. I made a lot of requests. I did a lot of stuff. I risked my relationship with Eckhart by dumping a bunch of shit on her lap right before a suicide mission.
Yeah, unfortunately not so much there. Also not so much for this one, risking your life for your buddy. I don't think that really happened.
Nah.
Nobody's challenged or stood up to the rival, I don't think.
No.
But I was all sugary sweet to watch her. He's my listed rival.
Huh.
That is its own level of. I didn't actually intend for it to be fucking with him, but I think I did disturb him a little bit.
Yeah, but unfortunately I don't think it was enough in the challenge or stand up to.
No.
It was some lighthearted fucking with him a little bit.
Well, yes, I don't think she would ever purposely actually undercut her rival, even if it is her rival.
Yeah.
But she definitely fucked with him a little bit.
We did not have any panic rolls, but also because we literally had, I think, 3 rolls the entire night. And 2 of them were Wescott.
Stealing
Checking
sharp
sanity.
objects.
Yeah. Yeah, stealing sharp objects and what kind of person is she today? We had no dangerous events. Significant discovery and revelation. I will give that one to Eckhart because of what Pike told her. But I don't have a character. Well, I mean, I have a character sheet, but I have not been given her experience or anything. So, let me think. Did anybody have a significant discovery or revelation? Oh yeah, you did. Wescott got one. It's just that Wescott didn't quite catch it.
Wescott caught it, but she was drugged up at the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Tom Stevenson works for Badge and apparently was here to spy on you. Or you all. Mm-hmm. Unclear about that part.
Pretty much on par with everything else at this point.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's Future Space 80s. Of course we have a love interest that was actually there as a plant initially. Let's see. Any extraordinary actions? Pike was really the only one that got to do a whole lot of acting of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was recuperating.
I mean, I maybe got us retirement.
Yeah. Well, find out more about that when we reconvene probably after this mission. I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. And then the last one, of course, everybody gets this one. Did you earn money? Yes. See, everybody got paid. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and take that one. Kind of low-key session tonight. Not a lot going on, but kind of necessary in keeping the story moving forward. As like, this is one of those. It's almost not quite a filler episode, but it almost has a filler episode feel as we connect from one mission into the next. But Rodance, any feedback, outro related comments? What do you got for us?
I am going to be very surprised, I think, to see how this next mission goes, because it's either going to go well or we're all going to die. Like, it's an either or thing.
Effectively doing a planetary assault, and you guys are the sneaky boys.
Yep.
Very curious.
It's kind of scary in its own right.
And I don't remember what those 3 insertion options are, but at least 2 of them are hairy as fuck. And not in a game mechanic, but like I'm trying to picture if this is in real life. I'm like, ooh man, I don't know. Basically being shot out of a cannon into an orbital insertion. I don't know, man. Sounds a little Starship Troopers too much. The book, not the movie.
At least one of these, if I remember correctly, is going to be almost exactly what Pike's background is. So,
yeah,
depending what we pick, this might be Pike might finally be like start to finish in his element.
Could be. Yeah. Do you got anything else, Rodance, besides the fact that I kind of, once again, as I usually do?
Apparently, I'm going to have to deal with, assuming we live, I'm going to have to deal with fucking Tom Stevenson showing up as the spy and maybe a love interest. Once she gets her brain wrapped around that, it's like, oh my god, what am I going to do with that? Poor Wescott.
I was hoping that, so kind of a reveal. I was hoping in the last badge episode that you guys would try to snoop around the ship, whether digitally or physically, because you were going to run into Tom Stevenson immediately, and he's gonna be like, "Here, let's get you back down to Marine Country. We can't have you wandering the ship, or whatever." And then in the process of doing that, he was gonna let it slip that he works for the Badge Man, and that he was here as a plant was associated with you guys as a plant all along.
Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for Wescott that her only potential love interest just happens to be the spy, who's been keeping tabs on them.
Well,
Yeah, we're probably going to be pretty sensitive to being lied to by people, considering our recent history. So,
Oh God,
I mean,
yeah.
listen, I'm gonna say this. I don't want to give away too much, but so far nobody has lied about anything.
Technically,
At least you know what people are telling you on Badge's ship, if nothing else. Vaughn, of course, has absolutely lied to you, one way or another.
yeah. If he follows us into the second campaign, do got some explaining to do.
Oh, Stevenson?
Oh,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
That sounds
He
like a
should
decision
probably
that
stay a
that sounds
spook
like
with
a decision
Watcher.
that Westcott is gonna have to make.
No, he's gonna have to stay a spook with Watcher because Westcott will chew him up and spit him out because she's angry at him for leading her on. Because at this point, she does not see him as potential romantic interest. She sees him as spy spook who is all up in her business, and that is not a good place to be.
Okay, I'll remember you said that.
maybe we'll get an interestingly tragic outro conversation if you live.
I am very curious to see how, when I do the final full reveal, when I do the final form of Tom Stevenson, what Westcott's reaction and the ensuing ramifications are going to be.
I mean, okay, Westcott is a walking around hot mess of small shrapnel nails and other miscellaneous bits around a unstable live napalm and some grenade bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna be good when she does finally pop off.
See how it goes.
She's the emotionability of aged nitroglycerin left in somebody's back garden shed by the great grandpa.
Yeah, that totally checks out. Luke, feedback, outro comments. What do you got for us, my friend?
Well, I feel like season 1 ended with like the big reveal that Winston had died, and then season 2, because that was like 20 episodes ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah.
And earlier in this episode, I actually checked out how long a season is, and it's 20 to 26 episodes.
Yes, in the standard definition as used by like TV shows and whatnot. Yeah.
Right. So now we're going into the season finale of season 2.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Now, I mean, for me, I've been considering Along the Frontier as one whole season because of the arc,
like a series.
Yeah.
Like 2 seasons.
But yeah, like, and we didn't have like nothing was structured for a specific season, like with a season finale and a new season premiere or anything like that halfway through or whatever. So
just so we're clear,
yeah,
the session 20 was when we met the new colonel.
Oh, really?
So technically.
So
and then session 21 was downtime session because it's we are on base. That's the session where Pike fed Westcott. Oh, and they have Winston and Warren and all of us watch La Costa Nostra too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
La Costa Nostra.
Okay, so,
man, that's bringing back some memories. Man, that feels like a long time ago. Go ahead, Luke.
So what episode did like Winston? What episode did the Queen show up and then die?
God, it was like
I'm pretty sure that was literally that first. That was the first rising arc of season 2.
Okay.
Met the colonel, went on mission. Winston dies.
Yeah, because session 26 is when Westcott gets mind controlled. Winston takes out a prisoner. Winston dies to Pike. Pike
episode
kills
26?
The queen. Yep, session 26.
That is exactly the length of a season.
Oh, man.
27 is when we get our political prisoners and go back to the Tambatam.
Yeah, that's about when we would have been like on the next.
Yeah, we're in the
season.
rising arc of we're at the season finale part 1 is next week.
Yeah, I
Mm.
liked at episode 20 we met the Colonel. So it's like the first season was, this psychopath and the group of people dealing with him as we fight against the UPP. And then we meet that Colonel, and the season 2 arc is us discovering, are we the bad guys?
Takes off the hat.
Am I the
Why is this a
asshole?
swastika?
And then we finally come back around to be like, no, we're choosing not to be the bad guys. This is our active choice here.
Yeah, this being the end of the second season is where we take our retribution against our, the betrayers that made us the bad guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
wonder-
murdering
I
people,
wonder with
just
that in
doubling
mind-
down and digging the hole deeper.
I wonder with that in mind, if I should try to keep that in mind with structuring Beyond the Frontier as two separate seasons almost.
I just think it's funny that like we started like the beginning of stuff being intense enough to get the flip started happened about halfway through. I just think it's entertaining how that worked out.
Yeah, well, because that was about the time that I realized that, man, if I let you guys go as written, as this is projected right now, you're going to be taking down this Kremlin to ram it into Lamont Station yourselves.
Yeah, I knew. Like by the end of the second mission, I was like, we are hard charging to be the bad guys.
Yes.
And this is hilarious because Pike is just such an overbearing character. He is dragging everyone to the bad ending.
And I love how the best part for me, as far as like directing all of this, was leaving the breadcrumbs in just enough breadcrumbs, spaced just far enough apart to bring you back to the light side, a la Luke and Darth Vader.
We accidentally light-sided this. That was not intentional.
Luke, I feel like I definitely got way off track from what you were originally going with, but go ahead. Whatever else you got.
That was pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, and you don't have to structure them like seasons. It's just a natural story arc progression.
Yeah, no, it is.
We just happen to have 2 arcs of the we're getting together and then oh shit.
Yeah, no, it's there definitely is from start to now. There's definitely there's definitely that progress of here we are, what we are originally. Things happen along the way, things change, things go on, more things happen, things more still change, and then we're finally coming back around to where we're like, wow, we learned about ourselves an awful lot, didn't we, kids? It really is about the friends you make along the way. I love that line so much. I don't know why.
Because everybody likes to make fun of it, even though it's so damn true.
Yeah, I think that's got to be what it is. That's got to be what it is. Kane, what do you got for us? Outro feedback stuffs.
Well, I think at this point I'm prepared either way. Pike has decided that he can't be a Marine.
Yeah.
And with him talking about like, you guys either have to get out or stay in like the community. From now on, there's no way you could go back to being regular Marines. So he's trying to groom the rest of his team to be able to accept that that is an option for them.
Yeah.
So that they have a legitimate choice. And I think he's also like he just kept dropping them. He just kept throwing more bombs at Eckhart's lab. But he's also like in a headspace where he's like he's mentally preparing himself to leave without her. He's not like, oh, of course she's going to do whatever, right? So he's also like part of his like telling her all that is that he's ready enough to stop being a Marine, that he's going to do it with or without her. He just wants her to come with him.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what she heard. I think the biggest I guess gut punch that she took was just the idea that Pike has now openly admitted out loud that he could just easily leave the Marine Corps at this point. Whereas before it was never even an option to consider. It was nowhere on the radar. And now it's not even just on the radar, but it's like, I'm about to leave the Marine Corps, period. And I think that was really what shook her to where she was like, I gotta go do a flight check thing.
Yeah. So he's prepared for her to say no, she can't leave.
Yeah.
Like she can't give that up for him. And he knows that he's still like he has to do this to walk the path of becoming more human.
Mm-hmm. I'm very curious to see how things progress over the next few episodes, because it's obviously going to take at least 2 episodes to complete this. And then, of course, that's just for the mission itself. Then we have to have our wrap-up episode of closing everything out before we transition from that into Beyond. But I'm very, very curious to see how things go. And very curious to see how things go with our 2 love interests, Eckhart and Stevenson. One could very well be hung out to dry, and the other one may just get left behind. We don't know yet. Or everybody will be copacetic. Everybody moves forward together as a group. Here we go, kids.
Or we all die on the mission.
I mean, that's always an option. TPK, 15 minutes in. I have a plan of a couple of ideas that are going to be like, oh my god.
I can't wait to see what sort of like cool shit that Warren decides to smuggle in his leg.
You obviously are throwing a few grenades in there.
Well, here's the thing.
And a couple knives.
I want to point out that for this mission coming up, Warren doesn't have any special features on his leg. It's just a leg. Now, when we go into Beyond, he can have that thing upgraded and whatnot, because maybe part of his separation package, assuming he lives, is plenty of money to do all kinds of crazy updates and upgrades. So yeah, he's obviously going to have a fucking Peter Weller RoboCop leg with a fucking fully automatic pistol that's stuck in there.
I was also thinking like in Alien Resurrection, when the wheelchair guy built the shotgun out of random bits he pulled off.
Oh yeah,
he smuggled his gun.
Yeah,
just imagining him like pulling like a couple different panels and bits off his leg and assembling them into a shotgun or something. Be like, all right, let's fuck. Like,
let's go. Any other final thoughts for this evening before I wrap this?
That's where he keeps his big knife.
Obviously, it's a knife. It's not a gun.
Yeah, it's obviously a knife. He's got one big Crocodile Dundee survival knife, but he's also got one of those leather satchels that you open up and fold it, and there's like 6 or 7 metal throwing blades. They're just the blades. You just chuck them at people.
And all he has to do is click his heels, and he gets like the little toe blade.
He gets the Klingon toe.
For some reason, the image just popped in my head, like the scene where like Beauty walks in and sees the flower in the glass container, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's Winston's knife. He just has like a room in his bar that is just the knife room, and it's just like this cobwebby shitty room, and on the table is this well lit beautiful display case with Winston's knife in it. Acid burns on it and everything.
Yeah, he leans on it, says this thing killed a xenomorph from like 20 meters away.
All right, my friends, that is it for us here tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, of course, like, subscribe, share, etc., etc., etc. Personally, I would like it if you also joined our Discord. If you're watching any of our streams live, you can type !Discord. That will give you the link for the Discord server there. Otherwise, in the video description down below, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can find you can find the Discord invite there as well. Meanwhile, my friends, stay safe out there. It is a crazy dark place, so make sure you're doing what you have to do to take care of you and yours. And as for me and mine, we are out of here, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, my friends.